Hello, and welcome to All the Best Bits, in which we do audio commentaries for the films that we picked our best bits from throughout the season. I'm Will, and I've been joined by my co-host, Kevin. Kevin, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, and I'm looking forward to this one, because it's the dead of summer. It's so hot, and this film is icy, icy cold, and I'm hoping it will cool me down.
Wouldn't that be nice? That's a lovely way of thinking of it, isn't it? In a hot summer, this is a perfect film to watch in a hot summer. And the film, of course, is Fargo from 1996. Not the TV series. It is the original feature film written and directed by the Coen Brothers. And we're going to do our audio commentary. And what we're doing is, as we've explained on other audio commentaries, Kevin and myself are syncing up our copies of the film. And we'd like you to do the same thing. If you have the ability to do so, you can just listen to us without syncing up and watching the film. I'm sure we will descend into the same level of insanity regardless. So where we're syncing up is on the Polygram Filmed Entertainment ident logo, which is about 17-18 seconds in. So if you just want to scrub your track along to that point, or fast forward and hit pause, we'll wait for you. Don't worry, we're here. We're supping our teas and just melting. Oh, you're back. Kevin, are you synced up? You are, aren't you?
I am. Let's go for it.
Okay. Now this time we got to remember to hit play at the same time, because I think there was one occasion where we didn't hit play at the same time, but I think anyway it worked out fine. So I'll count us in, alright? And in 3, 2, 1, play. I hope. Play.
There we go.
Okay. So the first intriguing thing about this is I love this. It says, this is a true story. The events depicted in this film took place in Minnesota in 1987. At the request of the survivors, the names have been changed. Out of respect for the dead, the rest has been told exactly as it occurred. Which is bullshit. But it's not totally bullshit, because there are elements. These sort of crimes did happen. There was a case in Minnesota of a husband trying to get his wife kidnapped, and then there was another case of money being buried out in the snow and stuff like that. And it's not total bullshit, but I love the fact that they did this, because there's an absurdity to this film. It's ballsy, but I think narratively it's good, right? Because there's an absurdity to this film where things happen, where it doesn't follow the conventional rules of screenwriting on a number of ways. Yeah. But because we have this is a true story, we have as an audience tend to believe the unbelievable. We tend to believe
truth
things that
is stranger than fiction.
There you go. That's exactly it. So everyone's watching this for the first time going, well, this is how it happened. And they take it for granted. They take it.
I love the font, the way that they spaced out the titles. I love that weird, what would you call it? It's kerning, the weird kerning that they use.
Another thing I love about this film is the cinematography. Roger effing Deakins, you beautiful man.
He's got a really good podcast, actually. But don't listen to that, listen to this.
I didn't know this, Kevin.
Yeah. Really? Yeah, him and his brother, although I've never heard his brother on the podcast. It's always Roger, and I believe it's his wife. The Deakins podcast.
I hope that it's a completely irrelevant podcast and as ridiculously silly as ours. Because then that would make me feel good about myself. Is it serious?
It's very relaxing, actually. It's a good podcast. It's definitely worth checking out. I mentioned it on one of the episodes because Frances McDormand was on it, and she was singing the praises of editors. And she was saying that she bases her decisions on one factor that I've not heard other actors talk about, and that is who's editing the film. Because she believes that film is an editor's medium, not a director's medium.
And fun fact trivia for you right here. The Coen Brothers, the editor of this film wasn't the Coen Brothers. It was actually the Coen Brothers, but they took a pseudonym.
Oh, yeah.
The pseudonym was nominated for an Oscar. And so, and it didn't
Seriously?
win. And the pseudonym was nominated for an Oscar, and it didn't win, thankfully. And the reason they took the pseudonym was because they just thought it was a little bit like the Vaseline case. Thought it was a bit too egotistical of them to just claim all the credits of this film. No,
we've just been introduced to Jerry Lundegaard, yes. and it's beginning right off the bat. The crime is afoot.
Yes, it's wonderful.
When you told me this film was, 98 minutes?
Yeah.
I thought that's very fleet. I had a memory of this film being a typical 2-hour opus because so much goes on in it. But no, this film is brisk.
It's tight. As you said, we're here. Jerry's in this dive bar in Fargo, right? The crime doesn't happen. It's called Fargo, but like there's Fargo and there's Brainerd, right? And Jerry's talking to Steve Buscemi and Stormard is Peter Stormard. And I love these characters. Steve Buscemi's character was written specifically for him. And I know that William H. Macy auditioned a few times for it, but he knew that he knew he was the person to play this.
I couldn't imagine anyone else in this role. Although Martin Freeman is brilliant in the series. That the first 2 seasons of the Fargo TV series are really great. Like, I loved both those series. But William H. Macy this is one of those roles where it just fits an actor like a glove.
Yeah. Apparently, he felt he was losing the role. This is when they were still casting, and he flew out to New York where the Coen Brothers were auditioning, and he went up. He went up and he told them, I'm worried about this movie because if you don't cast me in this role, it's just not going to be right. And if you cast someone else, I will shoot your dog. Apparently, he was joking when he said that, but he did say it.
Actors are psycho.
Well, I suppose they have to be.
They do have to be. I think
especially these two.
The Philip Lord, one of the directors of the Lord and Miller duo, said, "Does this industry make people crazy, or is this industry made up of crazy people?" So it's like chicken and egg thing, but it's hard to know, isn't it? It's like, are you drawn into make-believe and telling stories because you're slightly nuts, or does the industry, with all of its crazy shite that goes on, does that make you crazy? And actors have it worse than most, I think.
Yep. Yeah, man. And here we have what we have is we have actors who are kind of playing slightly crazy characters. I love Steve Buscemi. He sounds like a really sound fella in real life, and he was like
fireman.
What was he? He was a fireman. Yeah, he was a fireman. And like, remember when 9/11 happened, he went down to ground zero. Here's Jerry. I'm sorry. I haven't stressed. I've said it in other podcasts. I love this fucking film so much. And I love it because of the I love everything about his filmmaking, but the characterization is great. Jerry's coming into his house, and this is Jerry's father-in-law. And his father-in-law is dominating
he's emasculated
the house.
Already.
Yeah, completely emasculated. And Jerry is such a wet blanket. And his wife, unfortunately, it feels like his wife
doesn't respect him.
And doesn't really have enough brain cells to compute what's going on.
Yeah, she should be the one that should be sticking up for him and saying to her dad, look, get out.
Dad's still the dad. Jerry's kind of just slotted into this dynamic. And the son has now fucked off. The son, who was a cheeky little shit, has fucked off to McDonald's. And the dad is the one who's actually putting manners and saying, don't you tell it, isn't that son? He's basically the one who's kind of setting the rules around the place. And Jerry Lundegaard is like just apathetic. He doesn't really care. But Jerry wants the deal. He's desperate to get this deal done, right? And he's still talking to his father-in-law about getting money to get this big parking lot or whatever, this development deal done. And I love this film so much, Kevin. I haven't said it before. I have said it before, but fuck it, I love it so much. It's great.
Pace yourself. He gives me a real Ned Flanders vibe.
Ned Flanders, if Ned Flanders was
homicidal,
a homicidal, like sniveling fucking psychopath.
This could work out real good.
I don't think he's a psychopath. I don't think he's a psychopath. I just think he's a guy that just keeps fucking up. He just doesn't have. He's just not built to do what he's trying to pull off, and he just keeps making it worse for himself. He's almost like Adam Sandler's character from Uncut Gems. But this is a much more enjoyable film than that. The Uncut Gems is really deliberately aggravating. This is a pleasure to watch.
This is a pleasure because so we also have the criminals. Jerry's not a smart criminal. These two guys aren't smart criminals, right? They'll prove by their actions that they're not smart criminals, okay? And what's completely contradictory about this film is, who do you think, I'll frame it in the question to you, Kevin. Who do you think the main character of this film is? If you just flashed in your head, you thought about this, who's the main character? If you just think about Fargo, I don't want you to analyze it, who's the main character of this film?
The protagonist is probably Jerry, because he's the one that's causing everything to happen.
Well done. That's absolutely right. Jerry is the protagonist of this film. This is me with my screen. Oh, and see the scene right now. Okay, sorry to cut across you. So now Jerry's screwing over this lovely couple to try and upsell them for a true coat, and this scene happened to Ethan Coen almost verbatim. He just took the scene down. This probably inspired the character of Jerry Lundegaard.
Which one was Ethan Coen, though? Was he the wife?
Well, the actual fact, that's the wife. Yeah, she looks more like Ethan Coen than the husband right now.
So Ethan Coen was being upsold on a true coat.
Yep.
And he thought,
yep.
This is delicious. Got to write this down. What are all those awards? Are they for salesmanship?
Oh, those things in the background.
Yeah. Not the golf trophies.
Oh, yeah, good question. I love... This is Jerry now saying, I'm going to go talk to my boss. And he just walks into the other office and he says,
We've all done it.
For the weekend.
We've all done it. Let me just have a look in back. I'll just be 2 seconds. You just walk into the back and you wash your hands. You come back out. No, sorry, it's not in there. But I'll leave a note and they'll give you... What's your number? Scribble. We'll give you a call if it comes in. Sit back down and just continue to watch Friends.
You're a bald-faced liar.
Is this an extra vision, Kevin?
Where else? Best job I ever had.
Where else? It's a pretty fun job, yeah.
Where's my goddamn...
Actually, being a screenwriter is a dream come true.
And you're being sincere when you say that.
Welcome to Brainerd. Home of Paul Bunyan. Blue Ox. Yeah, the film just... it's just so much style.
Oh, bit of blue.
Yeah, but we're not getting to see anything.
I know.
Where are the... I'm not going to say it.
Don't say it, Kevin. I have an aversion to that word, you know. I don't like that word.
What word?
I'm not going to say it. I just don't like it. Just kind of... Do you know, do you ever have a word that just makes you go, ugh, I don't really like that word?
Yeah, notes.
I'm talking about
that kid looks familiar.
Oh, wait, that kid. That is a good... He does look familiar.
Orange juice. That would give you so much heartburn. Oh, I couldn't drink all that orange juice.
No. And it's Sunny Delight, so his skin is going to turn orange. Do you remember when that came out? The Sunny Delight came out over here and like in a specific summer, and it was like a big marketing push, and everyone bought it and were drinking it almost by the liter. There were genuine cases of people's skin turning orange from Sunny Delight, and they pulled it from the shelves. Do you remember that?
No.
This is allegedly, but I actually believe that actually happened. So allegedly it happened, but I'm pretty sure it did happen.
I remember there used to be that chicken salt. that you could put on your food. And for a while, everyone was buying that seasoning, the chicken seasoning. And then it got pulled for some reason. Apparently, it was incredibly bad for you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Now, Jerry's after getting great news. Jerry's in great form because his father-in-law has said, come on in, we'll do that deal after all. My accountant's after looking at it, or my business partner's looked at it. So now Jerry's coming to Shep Proudfoot, and he's saying, hey Shep, can you call your buddies and tell them to cancel the deal we made? And poor old Shep is basically going to say, nope, I can't help you there.
What was the budget of this film?
Oh, good question. The production budget, I might be able to actually see it now in a second. I used to be able to.
Because this is like a film that we should be able to make in Ireland. But I don't know whether it's deceptively, well, it is because it's a Hollywood film, but it's deceptively high budget.
Mm-hmm. You know, they would have had a decent budget for this because
they would have. Because I'm just looking at this location and I'm like, yeah, we wouldn't even have had the opportunity to shoot there in an Irish film.
Yeah, they would have had. They're the Coen Brothers, and they've been making successful films for over a decade at this stage. So
God, yeah,
definitely would.
1996.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And like I said on the podcast, I wasn't a huge fan of this when it first came out. Not a huge fan, but like all Coen Brothers films, when they first come out, I have this kind of like weird confusion about them. I'm like going, I don't know how I feel about this one. But pretty much in every case, when I go back and rewatch them, I grow to love them more and more and more. And the
ones that I don't particularly like are the out-and-out comedy ones. But then when I say that, I realise that nearly all of their films are comedies. But like I really, really love Burn After Reading, and I suppose that would even be classed as a comedy. But when I say comedies, I'm like Intolerable Cruelty. I didn't like that one. And I probably need to go back and revisit it, because maybe I will actually really get more out of it. And that would probably be really refreshing to go back and see that. No. And the other one was the remake of the Tom Hanks remake.
Lady Killers.
What was it?
The Lady Killers.
The Lady Killers. Yeah, I didn't like that one either.
That was the only one. Even Intolerable Cruelty for me, I found that actually to be enjoyable. Again, I knew it was silly. I knew it was farcical. And the same with the Burn After Reading one. I felt a little bit kind of, when I first came out, when I first finished watching that film, I went, hang on a second, that was all about nothing. And then I watched it again, I went, yeah, this whole film is all about idiots, and it's about nothing. You know, that's kind of part of the joke with this thing. And, but I'm the same as you. Lady Killers was the only one that truly felt like it was a bad idea. I love this. We're here back with Jerry, right? So everything in this film actually you're totally right. Everything revolves around Jerry. And he is now squirming because he's got the bank are trying to get details about serial numbers that he's used as capital for a big loan he's put down. So Jerry's under pressure, right? And this is the thing I want to highlight with this film. How your characters react under pressure is vital to the how their true characteristic manifests, and it manifests in a huge way in my best bit scene later on. And Jerry doesn't handle pressure well. Let's just say that. That's basically my point.
Yeah, he wouldn't be a Marine.
Well, who would?
Look at that TV. Jeez.
Yeah. Oak paneling. This is the scene. So we're right in the scene where Jerry's plot. She's going to be kidnapped.
And we're 17 minutes in, and this is always, if you watch movies, the 17-minute mark, between 17 and 21 minutes, is when the story kicks up a huge gear. And like clockwork, it's happening here. So in future, whenever you're watching something, look at the clock for 17 minutes and you'll notice that something major happens in almost every well-constructed film.
I love it. She just sits there and watches. Doesn't react.
Yeah, what would you do, though? I'd probably be the exact same.
I'd probably be the exact same. As like, what is going on? What is going on?
I'd probably be dressed like that as well. That's my riding gear.
Do you knit as well, Kevin? Did you ever knit?
No, my mum used to knit. I think it's a cool little skill.
Yeah. I was in national school. There was a year where we were knitting in national school for 1 year, and I actually remember enjoying it.
I suppose it's quite therapeutic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'd love to be able to do it still. I fancy knitting myself some writer's mittens.
That's a cool moment.
Yeah. No.
I mean, they're playing it straight. They're incompetent, but they're still playing it straight. Like, she is not playing this like she's in a comedy. She's playing this like it's she's Shelley Duvall in The Shining.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But
the only
comedy is coming
you get from it
is those guys.
Those guys. She bit him. Like she's after biting him, so he's in looking for ointment. That's what he's doing. So the comedy is she bit him, and he's like concerned about his hand, kind of after forgetting his mission.
He's the psychopath. He's the real psychopath in the group.
Yeah, he's the true psychopath. Absolutely. Look at this moment.
That is clever. That's clever, though. Yeah. This is cinema with a capital C.
Yeah. But the problem is, watch what she does.
Knocks herself out.
And not just once in this film. It'll happen again. Oh, no problem. At least she survived that.
It's a nice house.
Mm-hmm. So Peter Stormare put no effort into this. He just went, oh yeah, she's after knocking herself over. That's handy.
Oh, I'm really enjoying this.
So here we come. Here's Jerry now in to see the
Is this their best film?
For me, it is. Yeah, for me, it is. Well, it's one of my favorite films. So,
yeah,
it kind of has all of the elements that I love. See these decisions. He's got no place to sit.
That's done deliberately as well. Did you ever see that moment in 30 Rock where Alec Baldwin lays out the strategy of intimidating your person that's coming in to see you, and it has to do with giving them a chair that is uncomfortably low to the ground, or going the nuclear option and having no chair at all. So the person comes storming in and he's sitting down and they have to stand in front of him. It's like they're putting on a show for him. It's so clever. And this is like...
Oh, very good.
Yeah, this is all mind games.
And what's happening here is poor Jerry is coming in expecting to get the money for the investment. He's going to lead the investment. And his father-in-law is not having any of that shit. He wants to just take over the whole project, the whole proposal, and give Jerry a little finder's fee. And Jerry's going, They want to take this opportunity themselves and cut Jerry out of it, basically.
The father-in-law is a real villain.
He's a complete bastard. Yeah, he is a complete prick.
Finder's fees, what, 10%? Heck, that's not going to do it for me.
We're not going to give you 750,000. The heck were you thinking?
What the heck were you thinking? If I'm only getting bank interest, I want complete...
I mean, from one respect, it does make sense on their part that they would smell a rat here.
Yeah. Yeah, because they're doing all the risk. They're putting in all the money, and he's like saying, "Well, hang on a second. You want to be a lead investor on this without actually investing?" That's their point. That's their point.
It's like Dragon's Den.
If you're not interested, you won't mind if we move on.
Only these guys are worse than dragons. I love the shot of the car in the car park, and it's like, I actually would love to frame the shot and hang it on my wall. I really would.
You can do that. You just need to...
I want to do that.
You just need to...
I just want to hit pause. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to hit pause, and I'm just going to take my...
Nail your laptop nail it to the wall.
To the wall. Yeah,
that's how Jerry would do it.
There. Yeah.
God, that's cool. Oh, chill me down, movie. Chill me.
Are you leaning in closer to the screen now, Kevin?
Yeah.
Are you watching this like with the fridge door open behind you?
I'm sitting in the fridge.
I love this moment coming up here where I love this acting moment.
We've all been there.
We've all been there.
That's how I close my laptop after a Zoom meeting. Great news. So-and-so is interested, but we're going to have to do some more work on the script.
I'll work on this. But like, the thing about it is Jerry has no choice but to just go back, scraping the ice off his windshield. I don't know. I don't think I'd like to live there. I don't think I'd like to live.
No, not in Minnesota. Too remote.
6 foot snowdrifts.
Yeah, there's lots of places in America though that is like that. I remember going to Las Vegas, and Las Vegas just feeling really alien and like it shouldn't exist.
Okay.
Because it's like desert, skyscrapers.
I want to point out something, Kevin. Just as we panned up there from the toilet to the window, right? We passed a little kind of like magazine rack, and the frontmost magazine, like right beside the toilet, was Playboy. Okay. And I always just went, I always wanted to know, was this...
I always wanted a Playboy.
Or was this some... I always felt I was a Playboy. Or was it like, is that a... Oh, look, I love this jury rehearsing how he's going to make the call to Wage, the father-in-law. That's fantastic.
That's how I start every Zoom meeting.
All the pigs. She's got a lot of ornamental pigs. You notice that?
It does, actually.
Of ornamental pigs.
I don't trust people that have porcelain dolls.
I'm just looking around to see, do I have any porcelain dolls? Do headless Barbie dolls, they're okay, aren't they?
It's just a piece of plastic.
That wouldn't creep you out. Yeah. I just can't stand those dead eyes looking at me, so I rip them off as soon as I see them.
They don't dream because they're just a piece of plastic.
So now, Steve Buscemi and I can never remember. It's Peter Storm. Can you pronounce it?
Stormare.
They're transporting Jerry's wife back to the hideout spot.
Where were you in 1996? Sorry, you're explaining that story.
I was no, I'll tell you. I didn't see this film in the cinema because I was doing my leaving cert. That's what I was.
Oh.
Excuse me. Yeah, so I didn't see this in the cinema.
I might have been doing my junior cert. I would have been doing my junior cert. Yeah. Well, it's only 2 years difference.
I know. Yeah, now it doesn't make any difference.
No, it's like, as you get older, the ages tend to converge, and it just feels like there is no difference.
You're in the same decades.
Oh, yeah, it's all the same
bracket.
references. It's only just like kid stuff where you slightly diverge a little bit.
Yeah. What, this popped into my head today, and because I heard you say it on some other podcast. What gen are we? You know, there's the millennials. We're Gen what? Are we Gen Ys or Gen Zs or Gen Xs or what are we?
I'm a Zennial. I think that's what you would be as well. So a Zennial is the crossover between a Gen X and a millennial, and it's anyone born between 1977 and 1983. So it's the time when the Star Wars movies came out. So that little pocket is a Zennial. And yeah, and it just means that we got through school without having the internet as an oppressive sort of force in our lives. But as soon as we got into college, we all were the first adopters for emails, and you know, we had mobile phones and what have you. So we were young enough to absorb the internet into our lives as sort of like an extra appendage. But we grew up in a time before that, so we're the last generation to have had a similar experience to every other generation in humanity, pre-internet.
Man, it's such a delineation. It is such.
Totally
we
different.
Look back in history. I don't want to. Films are fun, remember, but being there at the dawn of the internet age was thrilling, but also it was fairly basic. It really didn't. Like, it didn't kind of like, it wasn't until we had like smartphones and smart technology and stuff like that. But back then it was like, oh my God, I can send an email to my brother, but he's on dial-up, but I'll get into the college that might find a free computer and I'll send him an email to say that I'll be home on the train tomorrow. It was like sending fucking telegrams back in the day.
You used to have to arrange to meet somebody, and if they didn't show up within 10-15 minutes, you just walk away. You had no idea, had you missed them? Did they come? Oh my God, that's a brutal shot.
And
Stormare just blew the trooper's head off. The trooper, shut the fuck up.
Gary Sinise.
Not you.
Gary Sinise.
No, that wasn't Gary Sinise.
Was it not?
No, definitely not.
So much like Gary Sinise.
Gary Sinise was doing like Snake Eyes and stuff like that around this time. He was a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember about a decade ago, my phone went dead before I was meeting up with a friend. And I had no way of contacting him and letting him know that. So I had to just sort of like, it brought me right back to what it was like before we had smartphones. And just sort of like standing there waiting, thinking, this is really disconcerting. I don't like this. So, but yeah, with geriatric millennials is the new term, which is horrible, I think.
But what was beautiful about, and this year, 96, when this film came out, was pretty much the dawn of popularized internet, when it started to get into homes on a kind of a mass level. And what I loved about growing up in that pre-internet era was that I experienced the collective kind of like mass culture experience. You know, everyone watched the same TV shows at the same time, and you could have the same conversations. We all were a part of that one television community or movie community, and
everybody felt
amazing.
It felt this way for a long, long time. But in Ireland, especially, you could meet anyone from any other part of the country, and you would all have the same experiences because you were all educated by the same Christian Brothers or the convent. So it was the same curriculum. We had 2 channels.
Yeah.
Two major radio stations that everyone would listen to. And the cinema was what was on, and that was it, really. It was like...
Yeah.
So...
the same music, whatever.
Same music. Everyone was sort of like...
Oasis and...
Yeah, we all felt like a big collective. And now it's... Everything is broken down into niches. Like, I was looking at the trades recently, and a big TV show that's a hit at the moment, I won't mention it right now, but it had viewing figures of like 800,000, and that was considered huge.
My lord. And
this has got a major movie star in the lead role, and Jesus, that's nothing. I remember
it's nothing. It's not even Fair City.
I used to watch Friends, and when Friends ended, they had like 50 million watching that. Could you imagine that nowadays? People would lose their minds.
Oh my God, it's incredible. Yeah, it's just the way the world's changed. Where we are in the film is that this trooper's been shot. Steve Buscemi's tried to drag the body off the road, and this unfortunate passerby car came along, and Peter Stormare, the true psychopath of this film, just hopped into the driver's seat and tracked him down. And again, not through his skill, but by pure chance, the fleeing car crashes.
Yeah.
And they could have gotten away. It's not because he was good. It's just because he was lucky. And that's critical to this film, is that they're lucky and unlucky at different times.
So you could completely structure this film from this moment on. You could start it here.
Yeah, and because here we go.
You'd introduce Marge, and Marge now has a crime to figure out, and you'd be in her shoes throughout the whole of the story, because you'd be like, let's see how she cracks this. But they've gotten sort of a Columbo, structure. They've told us what the crime is. They've shown us who's perpetrated the crime. And now we're introducing, I guess, the antagonist. Mm-hmm. And she is behind the audience. She's way behind the audience. And it's amazing that it still works, that it's still compelling and engaging. And that's just a credit to the performers, the execution and the writing, really. But from a storytelling point of view, you could lose that whole previous 30 minutes and start right here.
I'm so proud of you, Kevin, that you said that she was the antagonist, because that is absolutely right. She's the antagonist of this film. And what I find delicious about this film is that there are no character arcs, right? Only character revelations. That's the thing about this film. It's as true to life.
So many bloody screenwriting teachers these days have sort of destroyed screenwriting by telling every writer that the characters need to have an arc. They don't need to have an arc. That's so many great movies don't have character arcs. And this is an example.
Don't have to have it.
Yeah, it's just you join a character in a moment where something impactful happens in their life, and you get to see how they navigate it. And it doesn't all need to be about choices that backfire and lead them to making leaps of faith. I think that can be really reductive, and it sort of makes everything almost feel like a superhero movie. A superhero origin movie.
Everything I've written pretty much has been like that. That's pretty much gone into this. Well, now we were talking about psychopaths, right? And what we have now, all we've had up to this point are kind of despicable characters, and now we are presented with the coziest, warmest, most loving relationship between Margie Gunderson and her husband, who is played by John Carroll Lynch, who played the absolutely terrifying
the Zodiac Killer.
Zodiac Killer, which, Kevin, you won't believe this, I just watched Zodiac last week for the first time since the cinema.
Oh, it's a great film.
Fucking amazing. I think it's my favourite David Fincher film.
A lot of people think that, or feel that.
I really loved it.
I still think that Seven is the more satisfying movie, but I love Zodiac.
I love Seven too, but Zodiac for me is, I love everything about it. I love this here. Look, who would have this moment where she literally goes out to the car? We see her going out in the car and says, honey, I need a jump. You know?
How did he have both of those people in focus, Deakins? There was no split diopter there, was there?
The only thing I can imagine is a long lens.
Look at that. That is so oppressively white.
Yeah.
Like the casting.
Lister was a...
Zing. Got their ass. I am so fucking woke.
What I love about this film, and I think it's a great point, and I think what I love about the Coen Brothers films is because I don't really like this film at all.
That's another thing we should put on merch, is you saying what I love about this film.
Well, this is the best bits. Is their kind of balance, their balance of tone, the truly dark and bleakness of the world.
They do that better than many, I think. The way that they're able to balance true brutality, like a girl getting shot in the face, with this wholesome comedy.
And how she delivers is funny.
Yeah.
It looks like a defensive wound.
I remember watching the Oscars this year that this one was up, and all these moments. I wonder how many nominations it got. I felt like it was nominated for a bunch. All these
it was
clips.
There was screenplay, best directors.
Yeah.
Oh, do you know what the name of the editor, the editing pseudonym they actually had was? It was Roderick
Senior Spielberg.
Editor pseudonym. Roderick Janes was the name of their pseudonym. That's what it was. Thanks, IMDb. Appreciate it. You are welcome. That will be a click on an ad. Thank you.
Ugh.
Right, I'll click.
Don't click ads.
No, I'm clicking on this. I think
I met the person that created IMDb.
The stars of. Shut up.
Yeah, did he came to a screening?
IMDb?
Yeah, he came to a screening of Grabbers. I guess it was the UKFC, the UK Film Council at the time, the BFI. No, I think they all dovetailed and changed names and stuff. But they had a sort of a screening for benefactors of the BFI. And the film that they put on for the screening was Grabbers. And so he came. And he was a lovely guy. Yeah. And
That's
God,
weird because
I had to Amanda, who it was the head of the BFI. And I think
Amanda Hug and Kiss?
No, I think she's Dame Amanda. No, actually. God, what was her name? Okay. Amanda something.
Hug and Kiss? It's Amanda Hug and Kiss.
It wasn't Amanda Hug and Kiss. But she said, could you tell people a little bit about the film? And because we'd been on a bit of a sort of a circuit, us, the team that had made Grabbers, the director and the producers and myself, I looked towards them and I thought, oh no, I've said this so many times, they're going to be so bored of me saying it. And Amanda said, well, once more for us, if you don't mind. And I felt really like, oh, that was so rude of me to sort of like immediately just like go,
so I'm not going to.
Yeah, I've said this so much. It's such a boring story. And obviously I completely forgot that she was here to show off, I think. Not show off, that's the wrong word. She was here to show that the BFI supports all kinds of films. And yeah, that's one of those memories that flashes in my head where I thought, like, why did you say that, you dumbass? You just seemed so ungrateful. And that wasn't at all what I intended. I was just looking towards the director and producers and thinking, I'm sorry guys, I'm going to have to repeat myself again for the 10th time today. It's just so...
don't you just wish life came with an edit button?
Oh, yeah.
Just like, hit... Actually, what I said there, just...
There's a movie in that. That's a great idea. Nobody steal that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, edit, okay, I need to cut this. Yeah. It's basically Click.
Call it the do-over. Oh yeah, Click, the Adam Sandler.
No, Click. Yeah, it's been done.
Shit.
So here we are, right? Where we are is Jerry now is in a diner and he's telling his father-in-law that shit's gone down, that these guys are real, his wife's been kidnapped, and they only want to deal with Jerry, but the father-in-law's not taking any of it. He's saying... But I love this. It's a brilliant performance by...
this is my deal.
William H. Macy.
Gina's my wife here.
Jesus, and he's trying to put his foot down, but there's a second, right? He gives this... He's looking down intensely into his fork, but he's always glancing up to his father-in-law just to try and read him. And it's like a little flick of the eye, just kind of read the father-in-law. It's brilliant acting. Brilliant acting.
Yeah, he plays it like a kid, doesn't he?
Yeah. Oh, no way, Wade. No way. And no one swears as well, and I love that.
Let's see if we can put out an episode with no swearing. Because all of our episodes have got explicit warnings now.
Oh, terrible. We're terrible. Pure Irish. But, now that I've curtailed you in that word that I don't like hearing.
How was everything today?
I'm not even sure what that word is.
I'm going to leave it a mystery. Let the listeners tweet in what they think it is.
Don't worry about it, Jerry. Now,
it's cornflakes. Sorry, it's not cornflakes.
It's strawberries. Strawberries. Look at that. We were talking about Zennials, and behind them is North Xenia Park. My God, spooky.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. We were meant to be watching this. I always wanted to, and it still maintains, and I always wanted to get in a car and drive across America. But I think it would just be all this.
I've had friends that have done it, and it's not that enjoyable. You have to spend at least 10 days, because there's such a lot of distance to cover where it's there's nothing around. So it's a bit of a grueling trek.
I want to point out another quirkiness about this household and this world. The kid has got an accordion beside him, and the band he's got on the inside of his bedroom door is the Polka King. So a teenage kid, he is like big into polka. And again, it's these little...
horrible.
Yeah, it's just this kind of unusual thing, which is probably true and very specific. Because the Coen Brothers
in my head is thinking of is John Candy in Home Alone going polka 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 polka.
The Polka King in the Midwest?
No, sorry.
But aren't the Coen Brothers? I think they are from Minnesota, if I'm right in saying that.
You're putting me in the spot. I have no idea.
I think they are. They are. From now on, they are. Even if they were born in Hawaii, they are from the Midwest. You heard it here first, folks. So maybe he'll close the door. Maybe he won't. Okay, watch out for the polka poster on the inside the door. There it is, look.
Jesus.
Accordion King. Oh, they're always finding a way to just find humour in a shot. That's it. Even if it's not in the dialogue, they'll find humour in the extremities of the frame.
That's good direction.
Good production design, I suppose, which is under direction of.
It's a team effort. This is why a film by credit is disingenuous.
Yeah, I hate that. It's totally a team effort. She does it again. Look, she's running off again. I just keep presenting is just cracking up watching her. The creator.
I just laughed there, and I noticed as I was like doing one of our previous commentaries, sort of like putting it out and listening back to it. I have this real scumbag, scutty little, bratty kid in school laugh.
Do you?
Yeah, I think so. Anyway,
at least you don't have my laugh, Kevin. At least that.
You have an infectious laugh.
I try and. Oh, it's an irritating laugh. It's funny. I just like hearing your own voice. I hate the sound of my own laugh.
Jeez, you've got a great laugh. I just sort of sound like a little shit.
Nah. It's the Zodiac. Arrest him now. Oh my God.
Allegedly.
No, it was so him.
It was actually. If you look into the actual case, it was definitely that guy. Allegedly.
Yeah. It was so him. Allegedly. And I love in their relationship that their kind of primary discussion is about him and his paintings, and he wants to get his painting on a stamp, and he's in a competition, and he's hoping he's going to get, and also her work colleagues.
It's not plot driven.
Question.
It's just total it's
a character,
observational life stuff.
Yeah, it's life. It's life. When he walks in, the first thing the work colleague says is not, "Hey, such and such a thing happened down Brainerd." He says, "Hey there, what's his name?"
It's
Scott.
not a walk and talk.
Not a walk and talk. Absolutely, they're not. It's not exposition.
It's not banter.
Yeah. At Lakeside Club. Oh God.
Yeah, we both did. She went to college too.
Oh yeah, I remember these girls being all over the trailer.
But I dropped out.
Oh yeah,
funny
yeah,
yeah.
kind of funny looking. Yeah.
Go Bears.
I went to high school in White Bear Lane.
Go Bears. I love their optimism as well. They have, but I suppose there's a kind of a weird creepiness to this kind of like layer of, I suppose, optimism. Yeah, upbeatness. Everything is upbeat. Even crime, even death and murder.
Yeah.
So you were having sex with the little fella?
Yeah.
No.
He was kind of funny looking.
Funny looking. More than most people even.
It's the thing in LA. People don't tend to get self-deprecating jokes.
Yeah. But maybe I'm saying that, because he smoked a lot.
They sort of they don't know how to take that. In my experience.
Yeah. Hey, they said they were going to the Twin Cities.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, is that useful to you?
I have. Oh, watch the screen here. When we're in the cabin now with kidnappers, it comes on.
Watch the TV screen.
A TV screen. Hopefully, when he finds it, when it comes into play. There's a kind of a soap opera on the TV screen, and there's a cameo of an actor. Oh, I didn't realize she's sitting beside the oven until right now. That's how they were keeping it warm. She's sitting beside the oven. The actor on the TV screen.
That's a lot of beer.
Did you see him come in? Did you see who it was?
No. It was very brief.
Bruce Campbell.
It was who?
It's Bruce Campbell. Bruce Campbell.
Oh. That's probably got to be on IMDb. Bruce Campbell's got...
It is?
Staunch fans.
Yeah.
Fuck.
It's always on IMDb.
What soap did Bruce Campbell do? I know that the Coen Brothers.
He was shot for it.
Yeah. Oh, right. Because they were all part of a friend group where they had some hand in Evil Dead.
Yeah, they did. Yeah. Oh, actually, Kevin, sorry. How did I say it? The footage was not shot for this film. I'm reading from IMDb, but it was actually old footage from the early 1980s. Detroit produced soap opera called Generations, in which Campbell appeared. So it wasn't. It's an actual Bruce Campbell was in this old
local soap opera.
It's the Zodiac. Jesus, that bed looks so small for the two of them.
You're hyper tonight.
It just does.
There's no support on those pillows. Those are terrible.
Yeah. Yeah, and you can imagine lying that in those bars and you're
Mike Yanagita, that's his name.
There we go. That caused me some trouble. So, we talked about it. So, Mikey Yanagita rings in the middle of the night. Okay? So, when this film came out,
hey
I
babe,
said
you
it on
up?
the podcast. Yeah, it's basically what it is. He saw her on the
booty
TV,
call.
and he's going, it's a booty call. That's what this is. It's a booty call. I'm down in Twin Cities. When this film came out,
he's into pregnant women.
Yeah. People kind of really kind of poo-poos the Mikey Yanagita subplot, as in, it doesn't make a lick of sense. But it's like everything else in this film. It's an odd little ingredient to that actually is quite significant and will be quite significant as we watch it later on in the film.
Yeah.
And
I'm just looking at that direction there where he put his arm over her with his wedding ring as that conversation was happening. That would have been something that they said for him to do.
Absolutely.
To sort of, I don't know, maybe to allude to the audience that she could be considering breaking up this marriage. I don't know.
No way. Not at all. No.
It's deliberately there for a reason to make you remember that they're such a
I think
nice...
I think it's just there to kind of go, well, she's married, audience. This guy's calling her in the middle of the night and, there's her husband.
If you weren't aware.
And, if you weren't aware, but I think that's their bond. I think it's more of a kind of a reiteration of they have this very close bond. So I love these. I love it when Jerry gets put under pressure. So now it's the bank calling back again to Jerry, and they're now starting to get really pissed off about. Oh no, sorry. So this is. Oh no, sorry. This is the Steve Buscemi calling them. Sorry.
My wife.
That they're looking for more money. That's basically what it is. I thought it was a bank calling him. What the heck do you mean?
Oh, jeez.
What the heck are you talking about?
We're already halfway through. So this is the midpoint.
Mm-hmm.
The midpoint. Was the midpoint Mike Yanagita?
No, it has to be. It has to be Jerry, centered on Jerry, and this is it. It's like the midpoint is this, is that.
Yeah, but the midpoint is where you can never go back.
I think the midpoint's still coming up. No, the midpoint's coming up, Kev. The midpoint's coming up with the deal. That's what the midpoint is.
Okay.
It's coming up. We're heading there, and the midpoint is clearly.
I've not seen this film in about 15 years. I'd say.
Yeah, it's coming. That's what I feel. It's on the way in the next scene or so. And again, this doesn't have to, as you already pointed out, this is not exactly one of those films that adheres to the structure of all the, what is his name, Robert McKee and all of those guys. This film is fresh because it has its own structure, its own riff on things. As we just said, there's no clear character.
I think it is sticking to a lot of the sort of the major turning points of a story.
A part of me I always feel you're kind of in Jerry's shoes a little bit.
You're in boat camps. That is absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, it's a huge amount of food.
That's a nice pub. I love that. That's like a Wetherspoons, that pub.
Really? I've never been in a Wetherspoons.
Yeah.
Never been in a Wetherspoons.
Well, they're all sort of repurposed pubs, aren't they? They tend to
Okay.
have their own style. But yeah, that reminds me of a lot of Wetherspoons pubs. The person that
got
runs
three
those is a
courses there.
shithead, but the pubs are nice.
Hi, Norm.
Yeah.
How you doing, Marchie? How's it?
Jesus, the size of meals.
Sort out.
Oh no, I got.
It's unbelievable, isn't it?
I thought you was going ice fishing up at Malaya.
There's a restaurant near, not a restaurant, but there's a really top hotel near where we live here, and they do carvery like that. And oh my god,
They do what
just
like that?
Pile your food up. They carvery where you go up and you can get your food and to kind of go up with your tray and they serve you food onto your tray. If you serve you from a hot counter, if you know what I mean.
Oh,
they
like
just
school
did right
dinners.
there. Yeah, but it's top class.
Is that called carvery? Is that the term for that? I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's carvery, yeah. And might be completely wrong, but I believe that's it. But my God, it's kind of like that. You come down with one plate of food and it's just piled high and it's beautiful food, but you kind of want to die after it.
That's how it
You
should
want
be.
to slit your stomach open and let the...
Get the meat sweats.
I want to be a part of this thing.
That's what it is, meat sweats.
Wade, they were real clear.
See, for me, great comedy is born out of characters having a secret and trying to hold on to that secret. I love scenes where characters are lying, and no matter what the reason for lying, it's just that conceit where you know that they're doing their best to sort of hold on to something. And it's really,
I don't want you.
it creates a nice frisson and so much fun.
The heck do you mean?
I would apply that to all dramatic writing. I think, it's always, for me, it's always about characters.
Characters lying?
Not lying, but keeping their secrets, kind of like keeping their secrets hidden, because that's true to all of us. We want to keep our private stuff.
No, but I mean, like, you know that somebody has to do something in order to get something, and it's like it's a genuine like lie.
Real good. How are you doing today, man?
Yeah.
I'm doing really super today.
Don't let them go in that room because they're gonna find X, and so it's all about trying to keep the person out of the room. That's the stuff that I think is like.
That's cool.
Is there a phone down here, you think?
I loved there's humor everywhere, and as even when she was checking in there was just like this 5 or 6.
It's because they're celebrating Fargo and they're celebrating Brainerd. They just want to show off the Minnesota sort of characters, and they get away with it without it feeling like they're mocking anybody.
Oh, yeah?
There's a lot of affection.
It's really wholesome.
Yeah, it's affectionate.
No, I can find that. Yeah, well, thanks a bunch. Oh, say, would you happen to know a good place for lunch in the downtown area?
Didn't the film get sued for that opening title where it said that this is a true story?
Reasonable?
Where someone said
did
it was
it?
false advertising?
Oh, well, I suppose that would happen. Yeah.
Litigious America. Yeah, someone sued. I don't know if they, well, I know they weren't successful, but I don't know. They sued for something outrageous.
There's, again, it's these type of shots I love is the one, the car park, and him just kind of snaking through the snow. It's oddly satisfying. That's how I would describe it. It's oddly satisfying to me. And he just goes around and around. It's just like, pick a spot, park.
You're just getting to see how neurotic he is.
Yeah, it's big. And then he parks in the weirdest place. It's great.
Such a 90s car. Such an American 90s car.
Yeah. The guy, Jerry's wife, Jean's her name. She, the actress, I think Kirsten, I'm looking at IMDb, Kirsten Rudrud is her name. And she was actually born in real life Fargo.
Good for her.
Hi. How you doing?
Isn't that nuts?
Yeah, I decided not to
It's
park.
fucking nuts.
I love this.
Well, what do you
Love
mean?
this.
You decided not to park here? Yeah, I
He looks like the Pete Doctor.
But
He does, yeah. A little bit.
I'm not.
Pete Doctor's, both of Pete Doctor's parents are doctors in real life.
Doctor.
That's true. That's an actual fact.
I just fucking pulled
And
in.
Pete,
Well, but
I think Pete Doctor's name is Pete Henry Doctor, PhD. I'm not joking.
There was a guy came into X Division once, and he didn't have his video card. And so when they didn't have the video card, you'd have to search them on the system. And so I said, what's your name? And he said, Fitzpatrick. I said, what's your first name?
Right.
And he said, Paddy. And so I looked in and I goes, it's not coming up. And he goes, it might be under Patrick. And I looked down at the keyboard, started typing, and I looked up at him and I said, your name is Patrick Fitzpatrick? And he went, yeah. And because he reacted that way and was so taken aback and offended by me sort of confusedly going, your name's Patrick Fitzpatrick. Oh my God. I was in stitches. And
oh God.
And I thought he was going to leap over the counter and strangle me.
Oh.
And I was like, no, sorry.
Kevin.
And I had to get his videotape, and I could not stop laughing. And it's the way where it's like, don't laugh. This is so wrong. Don't laugh. Don't laugh. And it was like laughing in a funeral. I was in bits, and he was like, you're very smart, aren't you? And he grabbed the video and left. I had tears in my eyes, and oh my God. Always remember that.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That's another one of those moments where you need that edit button. You need that magic remote control button.
No,
edit.
I wouldn't change a thing about that. It was worth it. Every second. I had such a laugh. Here we go. This was your scene, wasn't it?
So, well, this is the first time they actually have two encounters, right?
This is from the very first episode, Best Screenwriter Scene. And you chose the Coen Brothers.
I chose not the scene, but the one that's going to follow this in a few minutes. So she's basically come in. She hasn't had a big lead. This is the point about this film is that she's only tracing a plate or something like that, and that led her to this car sales place. So Jerry's not on her radar.
No, he's just a cooperating. Not a witness, but he's like somebody. Well, yeah, he would be a cooperating witness. Yeah. He's not the subject of the investigation.
Not even that. Exactly. Not even close to it. But look how squirmy and nervous he is. And she's just asking, do you have any missing cars here? And he's going, no, ma'am. And what happens? She walks away.
Yeah, and
so, okay, I think it's important to remember this.
Yes.
This is important. She leaves. She takes his word for it, and she leaves. Okay, so keep that in mind. Now, Kevin.
Yeah, because it plays into the reason for Mike Yanagita being in the story.
Yes, absolutely.
Which, I'll hold my hands up and say that in the original viewing of the film, of course I would have been about 17 when I finally got to see this. I didn't watch it when it came out. I didn't get it. I was like, this is a long diversion from the story. And of course then years later it just clicked with me that she is...
Was it because I told you? Is it because I told you, Kevin?
Nope.
Come on.
Nah. It was it's just she's taking people on face value, and because this guy was able to hoodwink her, it makes her go back over other previous encounters where she thinks she's not looked deep enough. She should have noticed the clues. And that takes her back to Jerry.
And the filmmaking itself lays that out for you in the grammar of the filmmaking when we get to it later on. And this is a scene that plants this, where this doubt has already been planted, and now she's going to see the deception in action. And I was the same as you, Kevin. But I'm the same as you with all my first viewings of the Coen Brothers. I don't get it. I never get their films in the first viewing. I just know they've done something unusual and unexpected, and not cookie cutter. And as a result, my brain is kind of fizzing because I'm like going, what was that? That was unusual. And I can't even kind of like digest all the questions. But then when I go back and rewatch these films, all of a sudden there's a delight in unraveling or coming up with my own answers.
It's funny how
the kind of the unusual things of it.
It's funny how some films can work great on a first viewing, but if you go back and watch them a second time, they feel really slow because there's not enough sort of under the hood to sort of keep you interested. So you sort of like just like get on with it. This is such a drawn out story. But on the first viewing, because you didn't know where it was going, it worked. And then there are other films where once you know that it's not going to go down a path that you might anticipate or expect, you sort of relinquish control to the filmmakers and you just go with the flow. And Fargo is like that, where it's a better second watch than a first watch.
And I love in the scene how she so politely and authoritatively gets him back in his seat. He tries to slide in beside her, and she goes, "No, I'd prefer you back over there, thank you."
I'm sure and then so many women have had to master that negotiation.
Maybe that's it. Yeah. And she says, "Oh no, it's just so I don't have to turn my leg. I'd like to be able to look at you straight on."
People hated that recent Wonder Woman film, and I don't share the ire that people had. And one of the things they thought was really odd was that Wonder Woman was constantly being hit on in parties, on this sort of low-level, sort of aggravating condition that men create for women like that, where you're just politely sort of hitting on somebody, but when everybody is doing it all night long, you can see how that would be really such a drain to have to go through the world in that sort of condition all the time. And I appreciated the film for that, because it's like, okay, you're putting us in the shoes of someone who is constantly getting hit on and having to politely reject people all the time. And I think that's what movies do great. They provide insight into the experiences of other characters that you're may not have had in your own life.
It's so true. I actually don't remember. I saw it in the cinema, Wonder Woman 84, and I truly don't remember. I was just euphoric to be able to back in the cinema. I love Mikey Yanakita has basically given a whole pitch that his wife passed away, and now he's crying. He's sobbing. He's saying, "I'm so lonely," and it's yes, and it's convincing.
It is. He's a grifter.
He's a grifter.
He's an emotional vampire, and he's a bullshitter. But he's a great character. Sometimes absolute pricks are great characters.
Yeah. They're interesting to be in their company, so that you don't actually have to be there in their company in real life. You get to experience it.
They're a great looking couple, those two.
Experience them.
What do you do?
Have you seen Steve's latest? Match Made in Heaven.
What's it?
They're going to get married, those two.
Steve's complexion is what I would call chalky.
I'll tell you what.
He does look like a guy.
I'll tell you what, though. He's one of the only people that I've seen that is pulling off a polo neck.
Waiter.
It suits him.
We were talking about polo necks in some other film recently.
God, I don't know what one that was. Oh, it was True Lies.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Oh, there we go. It's focusing on who we want to focus on. Lovely Steve.
Where are the chesticles? Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Ouch.
What the hell you doing? I'm banging that girl.
Oh my god. Oh,
my
he was
God.
completely naked.
That is like
completely naked for that.
That's like Eastern Promises. And he's kicking him in the balls.
In blue.
That's exactly what you want.
My ideal attack scenario.
Ball damage.
Jesus.
My God.
And this guy is just a neighbor. This guy who's not a neighbor, but like a...
Front her up the arse.
Oh my god. Yeah.
He pulls off his belt.
the thing about watching this in Blu-ray for the first time is that I got an unfortunate view of Steve Buscemi's testicular area, which is oh my god.
I have a paused.
Giving him a beating. Screenshot. If I could have one frame to hang up on my wall,
I'm just nailing the laptop to the
it would
wall.
be Steve Buscemi's
Taint.
Was it taint or gooch or whatever?
Oh God, that's the word. That's the word. That's my version of whatever your word is. Gooch. Ugh, that's horrible.
That's it. Yeah. And Kevin, there's a famous retired Kerry footballer whose name is Gooch Cooper. Like, he's called the Gooch. All right, Gooch. Like, he's on whatever the match of the day or Sunday game on Sunday night, and there's Gooch. What do you think of this, Gooch? And every time they say it, I'm just going, oh god.
There was a newsreader in Ireland whose name was Avril Hoare. And we had a lot of whores that lived down from my nan's house.
Really?
Yeah.
There's a neighbour of mine, he's actually on an ad right now, and his name is Pat Gare. And we all through secondary school, we never copped that his surname was Gare, and never gave him any shit about it. It was just like, oh, that was just his name.
Oh my god, lost opportunity though.
Yeah, but he says, but I brought it up to him recently, and he says, oh, the guys in college didn't miss the opportunity. He had a hard time in college. People just gave him a lot of shit about his surname. No,
I mean, Pat. Imagine being called Pat. My God.
Sorry to all the Pats out there. I'd love.
Where's me
Pat.
post, Pat?
For a day.
Bring me bread, Pat the baker.
Here, we have to get back to the film. A critical thing's happened here, and what's happened is that the father-in-law has taken control of this deal. Who was supposed to be Jerry, and he's gone to this roof and to meet Steve Buscemi, and Steve is going, "Who the fuck are you? Where's Jerry?
I gave simple fucking instructions." And that's where Wade knows Jerry is a wrong one.
Yeah. And also, Wade has got his own. Here we go.
Oh, didn't see that coming.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. The criminals act impulsively.
Yeah.
They don't have a plan.
Here we go.
They don't have like a
This is a great scene.
Brilliant. There, oh, Jesus Christ.
So this episode's explicit. Ouch. Ouch.
Just crossed the line. Oh, wow.
Waste of bullets.
I don't know if you're the same as me, Kevin, but like, as I've gotten older...
No, I'm still so fucking young.
As I've gotten more middle-aged, I definitely have become more... What's the word? Sympathetic to human life in films, right? Like, it's not just...
Before that, you were a misanthrope.
Cool anymore. Before that, I was just like, yeah, kill... True Lies, kill 90 people, grand! But now when someone gets killed, I'm like going, oh, God. Like in there. I hate violence. I suppose that's a good thing. I hate seeing people killed.
I love it.
When he is a prick, like...
I love it. Kill them all.
I love the way Jerry's dressed with the hood up. And he looks like a kid, as you described her. He's like a child going to the school
like a
bus,
toddler.
you know? He's like a toddler, yeah. Oh, gee. Oh, gee. Oh, gee. Oh, yeah, this guy doesn't have a good end. Oh, my God, look at all that blood.
I'm just getting lost in the film.
I love it.
So do you love this film?
Absolutely love it. I don't think I've said it yet, and I think I kept it as a secret, but it is, yeah, it's up there for me.
That is such a great cut, or just a great way to button that scene. Just pop in the boot,
just like, and it doesn't that say so much about his character? Like, here we go with this. In that act of popping the
jeez,
in the act of popping the boot, He said there was no dialogue. He just went, and he's already going, okay, how am I going to clean up this mess?
Yeah.
You know, he's in this deep, and he's just going deeper and deeper. He's not even going over to check to see if he's alive. He just went, pop the boot, I'm going to dump him someplace.
It's just a funny sort of way to end that scene, to keep it going. Where's his son?
Yeah.
Oh, there he is, just as I said it.
No, he's in the bedroom, yeah. He's in the bedroom. Stan Grossman called.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, God. You see, just Jerry, just the net is getting tighter around Jerry all the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, Jerry's the protagonist of this film. And what arc does he go on? He doesn't.
Well.
And there's only 20 minutes to go. I mean, this film is just flying by.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, betcha.
Ugly duckly.
Kevin, can you name two other films that were presented as true stories, but which weren't true stories? What other very famous films?
JFK.
Bill Paxton did it. And I'll give you a clue.
I've proven it to you, no?
You've proven it to me.
Bill Paxton was there at the JFK.
He showed me the picture and... Well, Bill Paxton kills JFK. Shot JFK.
Bill Paxton turned up at... he was there for Oh, no. Forget it. I remember this guy at the Oscars. The clips. For some reason... Yeah. For some reason, I have a vivid memory of watching the Oscars the year that Fargo was up for all the awards. That's when the Oscars were fun to watch.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think I would have watched them all those days as well.
I understand. Then he calls me a jerk, says last guy thought he's a jerk is dead now. So I don't say no.
He's got to be a real guy.
Oh, the two films.
Say again?
I asked you a question. I asked you a trivia question, and I'm going to have to give the answer. The two other films that were presented as true stories in inverted commas when they were first presented, like, you know, when they were first released, were the Texas Chainsaw Massacre and the Blair Witch Project.
Oh, I should have gotten that actually, but I was in. How can I troll you? Yeah, and neither are true.
Yep, there you go. Very, very loosely based on
What this guy look like, anyways?
That Texas Chainsaw Man. Those are two films which did scare the bejesus out of me.
In what way?
Yes, I agree with you.
Okay. Well,
yeah.
bunch, Mr. Mora. You're right.
That was banned over here for years. I only saw it when it kind of was finally unbanned. Was it early 2000s, late 90s?
It would have been. I took it home because it was this mythic film, and I was working at Extravision, so it would have been early 2000s. Extravision being like a video store chain, like Blockbuster, and
Blockbuster.
And I watched it during the daytime, and it still ravaged my nerves. I had this. There's only been a few films where I've had to stop the film and sort of settle myself. I'm like, oh Jesus, I can't do this. Okay, here we go. Yeah. Oh fuck it, play. No, stop. Hang on. I'll make a cup of tea. And I can get through this. And I just kept sort of having to stop. It was so harrowing. Now I can sit and watch anything.
I watched it with when I was in college with a friend of mine, Henrik, and Kevin as well. Henrik is a Dane. He's 6'4", right? And by the end of the film, we watched it like late at night, and I remember him. He had all these knives in his kitchen, like, you know, proper, like, you know, carving knives. And at the end of the film, when the film ended, like, I was freaking out. I was not freaking out, but I was like going, Jesus Christ, that was absolutely harrowing. The 6'4" guy, with the lights were all down, came out of the kitchen with a knife running at me. Like, I just went going, and like a manic face. And I never forget how terrified I was. I was like, just to get the fuck away from me. Oh my God. I can still see him right now. I can still see it right now. Oh my God, it was terrible.
Naked, running at you with a knife.
Yeah. Fully erect.
With a knife strapped to it.
Knife strapped.
How did that
big fan of Seven
Asian lady? She must have had some sort of issues beyond common sense to watch this film and think.
Tell that story. Tell the story. Yeah, go on. What was the story? People might know it, Kevin.
There's an Asian woman that watched the film, saw that it opens with that title card that says this is based on a true story. Figured out the spot where she thought, based on the location that they shot the scene, that the real suitcase must be buried along there. And so she went along in the dead of winter and started digging all along the fence posts, looking for the buried money, and froze to death.
My God. And the ironic thing about it was when they shot those scenes, there was no snow. So it was artificial snow.
And I think they actually made a movie of that.
No way.
They did.
Wow.
They absolutely did. And it was just recently, in the last few years.
So we're at Marge, right? She's just about to leave Fargo. I think that's where she is. And she's talking to someone back at the base. And she said, I met Mikey Yanagita. And her friend is saying, no. She's saying, isn't it sad about his wife Linda dying of leukemia? And her friend is going, no, Linda's fine. She says, they never married. Is married with kids. And now we cut to her back in the patrol car. So we go straight from her having that revelation. She gets some food. She needs some snacks. This is all in the script, by the way. All these moments are in the script. She's having her snacks. She should be leaving. That's the plan. She was going to leave. But now we're with her. We're in her head. And in my head, she's thinking, what'll I do? Hang on a second. I can't believe. She's kind of shocked by Mikey Yanagita. And Jerry's in the back of her head. You can actually see her brow burrowing. And where does she go to instead of going back home where she's supposed to go? She walks right back into Jerry's office because he was fucking suspicious. That Mikey Yanagita was fucking suspicious. And she now is just following up on her instincts. And she's marching back into his office. And this is the scene I picked for my best screenwriter scene. And I love it. I think it's an amazing scene. And I love for writing.
And that film that was based on the true story of the Japanese woman who went to find the suitcase was called Kumiko, the Treasure Hunter.
Oh, my Lord.
Yeah.
Oh, my Lord.
Came out in 2015.
Oh, my Lord.
But this is a great scene. And I love what you said on that episode.
Go back and
no, don't go back. Don't listen to the first episode.
Okay, maybe not.
Skip the first 3 or 4. We make all our mistakes in those episodes.
Come in on chase scenes. This, I think, is a good one.
I would know. I'm the executive sales
So,
manager.
I did love what you said, though.
Well, I can't remember what I said. But all I know is that from the script,
you said that you love this film.
Oh, I haven't said that. I'm so glad you brought it up because I forgot to bring that up. Have I told anyone? I probably haven't said already, but I do love this film. If I could marry it, I would.
I love the voice crack. Mm-hmm. I'm cooperating here. Can't do it. And I think the Coen Brothers even said, how the hell did he do that? How was he able to have that nervous crack in his voice? It was just genius.
There are an ADR moments, right? So actors talk about how you don't deviate from the Coen Brothers scripts. But if you read this scene and the script, okay, she stands up, which is an acting choice by Frances McDormand. And when she stands up, she really changes her tone. She's like it's authoritative. And it's her putting her foot down and saying, no, I want you to do a car count, Mr. Lundegaard. And he has a mini tantrum. That's what it is. He has a tantrum. And also in the original script, they had it that he goes out right now, and in the original script, she calls back to base, right? She rings back to base, and she actually gets information that kind of raises her suspicions about Jerry Lundegaard, right? Which I think what they ended up doing is far more effective, because in that script, as I say, she's on the phone right now talking to her buddy, and she's kind of going, hang on a second. She's basically kind of saying what she thinks. And instead we get the comedic reveal of what actually happens. All Jerry has to do is go out and do a car count and come back in and just bullshit his way around it.
I think she's onto him at this stage because of her Mike Yanagita experience.
She's onto him. She's definitely onto him. But what we would lose, what we were lacking in the screenplay, we get this moment. The reveal for the audience of him just driving off is what we get.
Yeah.
In the script, you don't have that moment. In the film, you have the comedy and you have her going, he's fleeing the interview. Yeah. And now she picks up the phone. Now she's picking up.
Because we're in the last 15 minutes of the film, so I suppose they wanted to kick it up a level.
Mm-hmm.
It's great though when a script can be improved upon in the production, because oftentimes you're getting an approximation and you have the best efforts of everybody under the circumstances to make something which was beyond their grasp, and that is the majority of movies. So it's really rare and I guess it has to do with the fact that they're directing their own material, so they know it inside out and they know exactly how to execute it.
Mm-hmm.
But usually the best films come about when the director is as good of a writer as they are a director, and they are in complete control of the material. Then there is a real... He killed her.
Yeah.
I'd forgotten this.
And we don't even see it. Yeah.
I had totally forgotten that he killed her. Oh, because the wood chipper.
And well, the wood chipper will come into play in a while. Stuff's going to go down right now, right? Because Steve Buscemi thinks he's after making an absolute mint, because the deal for them was only supposed to be 80 grand or something like that, right? And they were supposed to get 80 grand. And he looked in the bag, he got the bag, and the bag had $1 million in it. And he's going, oh my God. So he's buried the bag of the money. He's come back to Peter Stormare and said, here's your cut, here's your 80 or here's your 40. And now they're arguing about the car. Steve Buscemi is saying, I'm taking the car. He's so greedy that he wants the car. And look where it gets him. This greed. Look where it gets him. He already has almost, hundreds of thousands buried just a few miles down the road. He just wants that extra thing.
Yeah. I have no memory of how this ends now. I'm just realising as I'm watching it.
Oh, good.
I've forgotten it.
Good.
And I've seen this film maybe 3 or 4 times.
Watch out now. Watch. This is terrifying. Watch this. Watch this. This is that to me is kind of Texas Chainsaw stuff, actually, there.
It is. That absolutely is.
And we're coming pretty much up to the end of the film. We're not with Marge's on the trail. And
there's only 10 minutes left.
Yeah.
Not even.
On the trail. Yeah.
Sorry, didn't copy, Lou.
3 Oscars.
Is that what it was?
That's what she's won. She's won 3 Oscars.
Oh, sorry, she is. Okay.
There aren't that many that have won 3 Oscars. You got Daniel Day-Lewis, Jack Nicholson, Katharine Hepburn won 4. She's the most decorated. Meryl Streep's won 3.
She's only won 3. I know she's been nominated 20 times or something like that. Jesus, I can't believe she's only won 3.
She's lost so many
times.
Such a loser.
I know what it feels like to be an Oscar loser. Brag. And now, again, Marge's detective work. What's brought her to this point? It's competence.
Luck.
It's not a bit of absolute luck, but there's a little bit of competency, a little bit of she's followed her instinct and she's reaped the rewards from it, And
there's a problem though with the film. It should end with her in the labor ward, screaming as she's giving birth to the baby. Sort of like, ah! And everybody is standing around and sort of saying, push! And they take receipt of the baby, and the husband says, what are we going to call it, hon? And she goes, I'm thinking Lundegard. And then you end the movie on that. That's what you want. You want a real rousing sort of like happy ending.
Well, Kevin, I think Fargo is due for, don't mind the TV series, it's due for a cinematic remake, and you have won my pitch. So I'm going to award you. Now, this is fairly gross.
Nil points,
isn't it?
It is gross.
This is based on real life.
Have you seen the first 2 series of the TV show, though?
I have, and I really like them. Yeah. The second series more than the first series.
Same here.
This, I spoke about, and this is something that did happen. That there was some guy got rid of a body using a wood chipper. And like,
how would you get rid of a body?
Oh, wait till you find out, Kevin. I don't want to spoil the surprise.
I like the symmetry of this. Him running away in snow. And now it's going to happen to him.
Yeah.
What he did to that poor couple.
Yeah.
It's very similar to how he died in The Lost World, Jurassic Park.
Oh, how did he die in The Lost World? Was he not eaten by a dinosaur?
Yeah, compies.
Oh, Compsognathus. Imagine, there's some trivia. Compsognathus.
Possibly.
You know how I know that? My son was big into dinosaurs. And he still is into dinosaurs. And I learned all about dinosaurs. And it was kind of cool learning about all the different species.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Compsognathus.
What you call me?
So here we are. This is for me, right? Not quite the end, but for me, this for me
reminds me of Seven
a little bit. But she literally gives one of the kind of the main moral message of the film. The Coen Brothers lay it out in her dialogue here, and she says like, and for what? This is for a little bit of money. The whole thing was just for greed. She said, and she's saying, it's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. And there's more to life than a little bit of money. And that's the whole point of this film. There's more to life than money. And it's contrasted.
I'd never thought of that until.
But that's why I think their films are like Old Testament fables. Like they don't have character arcs. God intervenes in various ways, like, you know, and characters are kind of just put through the ringer, and we see them react to what the gods decide to instill upon them.
So good.
I don't know, isn't it?
And it's ending in a similar way to how it began, with that road.
Well, there's a couple of scenes left. We're not totally done. There's a couple of satisfying scenes. That's what I would say. Oh, that's slow motion, actually.
Where she gives birth.
The director's cut. The extended cut of Fargo. Oh, God.
Was she actually pregnant? Or was this a character choice?
Character thing. No, she's definitely not pregnant. A snowplow going by was not supposed to be there. They had blocked off the road. They had police blocked off the road, and this guy just completely ignored them. And that's them chasing them. It's so true. It didn't actually happen. So here's the satisfying conclusion.
Are you serious?
Yeah, no, that actually truly happened. That snowplow was not allowed through, and it just drove through the barricades. It just went on plowing the road, and it just worked for the shot. This is I love this satisfying conclusion to Jerry Lundegaard's character arc, right? Or lack of. He is now in a corner, he's naked, almost naked, trying to squirm, and he screams here.
It's like his wife. It's like his wife trying to escape.
Yes. And what has his arc been? He's just been revealed. He hasn't had an arc. His true self has been revealed.
The message of the movie is crime doesn't pay, kids.
And this is the true ending of the film. This is the lovely... And you actually talked about it lovely in the first episode. So, hey kids, go back and listen to episode 1 where we talk about this film. And we're back into that lovely...
Where I sound like this in the episode where I'm talking like this in front of a box.
And we didn't swear and we were trying to be professional. But we're in this lovely, cozy, warm space with Marge Gunderson and her serial killer husband, the Zodiac Killer. But her concern is about the competition. He's saying, I got the tree scent. And her last line here is like, I love it. It's like, it's all about the little ones. It's all about the little stamps. Again, it's kind of refocusing. It's all about the little stamps, she says. Oh, I love it. I don't know if I've said it, Kevin, but, I do love this film.
I'll do a supercut. I bet you've said it about 100 times.
That's terrific.
I'm so proud of you, Norm. Of course these are such normies. He'd have to be called Norm.
They actually told the cast, it wasn't until the cast were well into shooting that they revealed to him it wasn't a true story. The whole cast thought this was a true story when they were shooting it.
Oh my God.
2 more months. And again, we are leaving this optimistic note. We've had this really bleak story of this awful, despicable character trying to, get money. And
directed by Joel.
Yeah, that was back in the day when they couldn't.
And written by Ethan and Joel.
So we'll see the credits.
That was great, and that flew by.
Yeah. Wait for the editing credits. I'm just curious to see who's for this.
Tim Bevan, Eric Fellner, Brits from Working Title.
John Cameron. Or are they? Roger Deakins, legend.
Yeah, Working Title.
Rick Hendricks, production designer, put the Playboy magazine in the toilet scene. Oh, we forgot to mention the music. I love the music for this film. See, film editor Roderick Janes, an associate editor in Tricia Cook. So the film editors were the Coen Brothers. John Lyons, good man, John.
Fair play to them.
It's great fun. So, we're coming to the end of another audio commentary, Kevin. And I think we're well enough behaved on this one. Oh, here we go. Look,
Victim in Field
is the symbol.
Prince.
It's not. That's what I don't think it was Prince.
What does that mean?
They did put it in there, but that was the symbol for Prince. And oh golly, what was the story behind it? It was the victim in the field was the guy who was shot. We saw the guy being shot. Clearly saw the guy being shot. But I remember,
and as a joke, they put in the Prince.
I think
symbol?
it was just a joke. I just think they just put it in as a kind of an odd joke. No, I might be completely wrong.
Everybody, go quickly and Google that now. What's the whole story behind the
Prince symbol?
The Prince symbol for the victim in the snow.
I'm frustratingly on IMDb trying to see if someone has it covered, and I know they have some sort of entry here about it. God damn it. But listen, yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed watching that film again on Blu-ray. How was it for you, Kevin?
It was refreshingly cool.
Excellent. How are you feeling?
It's a really good film.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good film.
Prince symbol.
God damn you! I'm doing the same thing.
Fargo.
Both doing the same thing.
Anderson received credit for appearing in Fargo as Victim in Field. Instead of his name being used, he was credited with the symbol for the artist formerly known as Prince, which was turned on its side with a smiley face drawn in the circle. J. Todd Anderson was the actual actor. Oh, okay. He's a storyboard artist. Wow. So it was one of the crew.
There we go. Because, yeah, it was that guy. We saw him clearly driving by and we could see his face as clear as day.
I loved that film, and I wish more films like it were made. And, last 30 seconds.
I'm not too bothered.
This has been a very fleet audio commentary.
Well, maybe I would like to give my final thoughts. And I think I'm going to downgrade this film. It's only okay. I'm not that bothered about it. No. I'm deeply passionate about this film. It's inspirational. I love it. And I just want to thank everyone for sitting through this and listening to us as we babbled our way through Fargo. And it was for me and Kevin. I'm going to close this out and say goodbye and come back again. You can
surely, whatever he says. See ya.
Good luck.
And here is a clip from the lads' latest Mini Bits bonus show. The full episode, plus 80 more, are available on their Patreon.
See ya, Mossy. I gotta go in and record another one of these fucking mini bits.
Oh, yes, this is all it is.
I know. What are you doing?
Right now, on the Academy screener site, and I hit play, because there's only a few films on it for the first month or two. There's only like about less than 10 films on it. And Guy Ritchie's The Covenant is on here. So I hit play on that, and I'm hearing we're out in Afghanistan, and I'm hearing all the dirt, and I hear vehicles, and I hear the sound effects of characters walking. But when characters open their mouths, I don't hear any dialogue.
Mm-hmm. Oh, they've
no dialogue.
They've uploaded the wrong audio track. It's like that Tom Cruise trailer where it was just the sound effects.
Have you met an SP?
Yeah, and this film's been up on the screener site for a few weeks now, and they still have the wrong one here. Well, I tell you what films are actually up there for all Academy members to see, and they see what they've put up there.
But first of all, let's just throw to our theme. And I have to say, the feedback from my thank you ballad it was quite fierce.
The power of Christ compels you.
So I asked Mossy, who is a friend of my dad's at the quiz, sing us a theme tune.
Oh.
So over to Mossy.
Hit the cards. I'm fine, I'll get it done in one take. It's the Many Bits. Or podcast, what will they say? With Will and Kevin Cock.
The best fucking podcast.
That'll do.
That'll do.
My God.
Thank you, Mossy.
He would make an angel weep. That voice would make an angel weep.
Telling you.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Boolabus.
It only cost us 2 months Patreon money, so, you know.
Is that all? Money well spent, in my eyes.
Yeah. I mean, you can't get much for €20. Will, you were telling me before the intro that you were looking at stuff on the Academy Screeners website.
The Academy Awards, so for official members, yes. So they don't send out DVDs anymore. So how you do all your streaming stuff is all via the Academy website. And the streaming season has begun, which is exciting. So it means for the rest of the year...
Did it ever end?
It does end. It does. After the Academy Awards, there's about 2 weeks, and they take all the films down, and then they begin again at the end of August, and they all start coming up. So it's a whole new collection of hopefuls.
So how many films are on there?
Right now, about 10. Actually, 10 exactly. I can tell you the 10.
Oh, go on, tell me.
John Wick 4.
For the Oscars. Oh, because there's like...
Yes, because they're adding in stunt category, aren't they?
Are they adding it in? Is the stunt category being added?
I believe they're adding in some sort of stunt category.
Breaking news straight from an Academy member's mouth.
Because they're adding in stunt category, aren't they?
Slash film.
I don't know. Did I read this in an article? I feel they were.
I
felt they were.
Have long overlooked stunts, and my God, it's pure artistry.
Yeah.
And it is incredibly, well, these days, it's all fucking rubber computer generated avatars.
That's why that's why these people should be getting their Oscars when someone's actually gone out there. Yeah,
go back,
absolutely.
Go back and give it to your man from Mad Max who broke his legs.
Give it to Richard Farnsworth, who was a stuntman and
Was he?
starred in The Straight Story. Yeah, Richard Farnsworth was a career stuntman. Absolutely.
Wasn't that also the case with Machete? What's your man, Machete? Danny Trejo.
Danny Trejo.
Is
Really?
it Trejo or Trejo?
I always call him Trejo, but he just says, call me Danny.
I was going to say that back to you.
Nah.
I was like, just that.
We were.
Because we just call him